Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? Back once more with another daily Casper and crypto live stream. And unsurprisingly, the market is looking extremely bearish today, absolutely bleeding from the looks of things. And it's frustrating, no doubt. In today's stream, we'll be covering the recent very optimistic and bullish Casper catalyst, but of course, pairing that with the unfortunate market scenario, the fact that we can see Bitcoin right now is down nearly 4% on the daily time frame, valued out at $83.7 thousand. The fact that XRP is down 6.65% on the daily time frame. Casper is almost down 10%, therefore signalizing a crash. We can see Casper was respecting and getting rejected at the level of resistance here, this downward sloping wedge, and because it was unable to break out, also due to the unfortunate macro news today that caused the market to correct. We've seen Casper have a massive drop off today, almost crashing in value. I'm hoping it will, whilst it's come down below the support right now, I'm hoping it will be able to make a recovery by the end of the day, and then Casper will start trading in between the zone here, once more trying to break out of the level of resistance here again, this downward sloping wedge. But unfortunately, the news today is, as you could probably see from the title with the tank in the bottom left, it's war. More developments, more conflict around the world, and of course that is causing a negative correlation on the price of on-risk assets. All of them. Of course, crypto right now is bleeding quite heavily, and alts are back to crying. And we'll get into all of that in the stream, but as always, if you enjoy this daily content, the daily updates on what's happening in the market, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. You know the dealio. Got a lot more to come. And these negative market sentiments, while frustrating, I'm sure, because all of us want just the markets to soar at this point, we want to have our conviction come to fruition. Understand, at least in my perspective, once more, that this for me is just short term. It's frustrating, but it's short term noise. Long term, the markets still look very bullish in my belief. How high we'll go in the cycle, again, anyone can speculate. I want to believe we'll see the market end up rallying to 150k Bitcoin, which puts it in and around a $3 trillion market cap for Bitcoin, if not higher. Again, time will tell, we'll have to wait and see. With that being said, welcome back everyone to the daily Casper and crypto channel, quick crypto channel, and the CF community. Hope you're all having a very, very good day. Falco, again, my man, welcome back to the stream. Nathan finally made the live. Love your analysis on Casper. Thank you very much, my man. I'm glad you enjoy the content and look forward to the daily live streams as well. Kryptoni, again, my man, welcome back to the stream, brother. Hope you're doing very, very well. Anthony, to you too. Lau, Mila, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Yo, Jay and Caspian, stay strong as always. Completely right. This is nothing more than, I guess you can clarify it as a shakeout. Once again, you can see Ethereum has now lost 2k level. It's still kind of respecting level of support here in and around the 1.8k zone. If you draw out a horizontal line here, indicating this is definitely a level of support for Ethereum, which is good to see. You can see it all the way back here as well, quite a strong level all in all. So the while Ethereum can hold that could be a good indicator of it being the the market's priced at the very, very bottom. If you look at the hash rate for Casper, what is now consolidating around 1.14 as opposed to its 1.3 to 1.4 a few months back. So once more, the hash rate has come down about 0.2, which is 200 petahashes per second, which is an indicator once more that the miners, there's not enough growing adoption in the Casper community right now because the price is not there yet. But also, as the price keeps coming back more and more, the hash rate also starts to drop as well, which is an indicator that the miners don't want to see the price go down anymore. So therefore, the ones who are manipulating the price of Casper, they also should be aware that they send it down further, it's going to cause the complete ecosystem to just start crumbling. So for me, while more downside for Casper is definitely possible, we can see right now again down 9.29% on the daily time frame, valued at 6.84 cents. We did see Casper at one point correct down to 5.5 cents, and I do still believe that this is the absolute bottom here for Casper, around the 5 cent zone. Some people are still saying 1 cent Casper, and while again, anything's possible for me. 1 cent Casper, if it retraces below 5 cents, that would be, in my belief, potentially a massive warning sign that the ecosystem is about to fall off quite drastically unless we see a massive reversal extremely quickly. But highlighting that, be it as it may, I'd be very shocked, very, very shocked, if Kaspa was to fall below that level of support there. This for me is a crucial level of support, and I think Kaspa's going to hold that purely also because of the incoming major catalyst coming to Kaspa that could help bring more community incentive and community, trust back to the project, and hopefully there's also more demand and adoption. What's up, next level Kaspa man? Hope you're doing very well. Welcome back to the channel, brother. Hello, time for Kaspa and chill, you know it. Again, we'll cover the market center, we'll cover the Kaspa news. All of it is, very informative, and of course, hopefully very bullish for Kaspa as well. But again, truth be told, in my belief, while we're highlighting the FUD and the fundamentals, it's not really something that I'm particularly worried about. It's a general outlook on the market. It happens quite frequently. What's up, Divas? Man, I hope you're doing very, very well again, brother. Welcome back to the channel. Jeff, sir, just got 12k Kaspa. Love the sales. Hey, that is one way to look at the market right now. As Nathan Rothschild stated, one of the most influential and powerful men in the world, he said, the time to buy is when there's blood in the streets. And right now, there is definitely a massacre going on right now. So you could argue this is a very, very good time to get into Kaspa. But again, do your own research and not financial advice. What's up, Pagod, my man? Hope you do very well. Hey, are we going bottom of the triangle, or right now Kaspa is definitely respecting this level of this element of TA, this downward sloping wedge. Kaspa right now is respecting it, being rejected at a level of resistance here, this downward part here. So you might see it continue to go towards the zone down here and then make a definitive move. For me, due to the fact that this seems to cross around mid-April, I like to believe it'll probably end up being more so worst case come down to the support here for the next 2 weeks until then 10 BPS comes out, and then we see it start to make a gradual, not that line's a bit too steep, but more so a gradual rally back up, or even consolidate here a little bit longer, sub it for a little bit longer, and then go up. Again, time will tell, but there's still a lot of stuff to look forward to in the immediate short term regarding Son Polinsky and Michael Son, and the fact that they're going to be attending events, which we're going to get into in a moment, but also the fact that you're going to have a lot of the layer 2s like the Casplex and Egg Labs who are going to be building on top of Kaspa and releasing public test nets in the coming couple of weeks as well, which will be equally very bullish as well. Did you see Da Vinci video? He says he likes Kaspa but doesn't like hard fork. Yeah, that's a very, very old video. Da Vinci Jeremy is a Bitcoin maximalist, and his whole ideology therefore as a Bitcoin maxi is hard forks are just terrible, but the lack of hard fork is why Bitcoin is no longer going to be utilized as a form of currency. It's a store of value because it becomes so slow. It didn't adapt. It didn't evolve. The lack of hard fork makes it a dinosaur. But Kaspa is not afraid of doing hard forks. The issue that Da Vinci Jeremy highlighted with hard forks is that they're extremely risky. There could be problems with the code, and also bad actors could take advantage of the ongoing hard fork as well. And while all of those are completely valid, they could be negated by proper communication and due diligence. Kaspa has been planning the Rust Crescendo hard fork since January 2024. So over a year. And the actual transition period started in and around mid-2024. So Kaspa have definitely given a lot of time, due diligence, a lot of research, and also the Crescendo transition period, if you will, is starting on the 31st of this month of March, but the full transition to the mainnet will happen by the 5th of May, a month later, because of giving all the node operators, the exchanges, the wallets, everyone that's actually running the Kaspa code and needs to understand that they're giving them a over 1 month grace period to transition to RK Rusty Kaspa version 1 instead of the current version 16 or whatever it is right now, which does incorporate elements of Rust, but it'd be a full transition, a hard fork as opposed to the soft fork we're currently on. So I understand the what's the word I'm looking for? I understand the message he's trying to state, Da Vinci Jeremy, in his lack of belief in hard forks, but for me, it's just due to a lack of, well, a better choice of words, like an understanding of the necessity of hard forks, and while they are risky, if done correctly, it negates the risk. Everything in life is risky. You can't just take the easy path all the way. Investing in crypto, evidently right now, is very risky. But in order to have the best opportunity to escape, quote unquote, escape the matrix, if you will, and the corrupt centralized system we're in, sometimes risks are worthwhile. Again, not financial advice, you want to do your own research. But I mean Kaspa because I believe that they're doing everything correctly. They've got a very, very solid and intellectual team behind them. And while there are definitely many other plays in this cycle that I think will do very well, I think XRP will do well, I think Sui will do well. I actually just released a video on Sui a few minutes before I went live today. I think C will do quite well. I think Tau will do exceptionally well. I think many projects in this space will have their time to shine. I think majority of projects will end up rallying this cycle, and some will shine better than most. And I think Kaspa, again, my personal belief, will shine as bright as everything else, if not brighter, because when the market starts to reverse, Kaspa's big developments by that point will likely be out, and that will therefore allow Kaspa to start showing itself as a fully fledged DeFi platform, competing with the likes of XRP, competing with the likes of Sui, with Solana, with Ethereum, and much more, all of which again we'll get to in this stream. We have a month or two to fill our Kaspa bags, keep our convictions high. My conviction has never wavered for a second, and you're completely right once again, Mila. Again, shameless plug, but I've got to do it for those who want to know a hell of a lot more about the current market trajectory. And while I'm going to cover some of that in this stream today while the market is dumping, to give a better understanding of the future direction of this market and where it's going, and the institutional insight, and also how we are currently navigating the market through trades and other means as well, you can come check out the Coin Factory CF executive community here. It's a 7-day free trial, so you join for a free 1-week period to get a little peek behind the curtains of what we're providing there. And if you think that it's worth your while, then by all means come sign up. There's a lot that we're providing in there, and we believe it to be very, very beneficial. We know the members who are part there already are very pleased with what's in there so far, and even have made quite a bit of money from it as well. So once the community grows more and more, so will the production as well. It's very early doors again, but so far, things are looking good in my belief. So again, if you want to know more, links are down in the description. Chat also on my homepage as well here, wap.com/coin-factory right here. Don't be afraid of Kaspa going to 4 cents. I think this dump is not over for the general market, but mid-April will be moon time. I care to agree, Jose. I do. I do think Kaspa might see some more corrections, and crypto will as well. I do think we'll start seeing some form of reversal in mid-May. The reason why, I'm going to highlight that why now, is because MITRE, M-I-T-R-E, MITRE, which is a federally funded research organization, their role is to advise the transition team of the new administration. So MITRE's role is to advise Trump on what they need to do when he's inaugurated. He was inaugurated on the 20th of January. So that's about just over 2 months from now. I'll highlight that because that means come April 20th, it'll be 3 months since inauguration. And MITRE told Trump and his team, you need to have a stablecoin bill fully launched and frameworks for it, but in the first 90 days of your inauguration. So, therefore, you'll likely see, and you're seeing it being drawn up right now in Congress, and soon Trump will pass the bill. So you'll see stablecoin bills likely passed, mid-ish April, and that'll hopefully bring a lot more trust to the crypto space, more adoption to the market in regards to stablecoin adoption as well, and that will help start to maybe sort of relief rally, and then you'll see maybe a gradual rally into then a blow off top later on in the cycle as well. Again, you could probably envision it being something similar to the 2021 cycle, where you saw, not exactly a parabolic rally up like that of the stablecoin bill, but something like a bit of a relief, and then it'll kind of make a gradual move up, and then probably just come back a little bit, following the rest of the regulatory policies coming through, and then you'll see a quick blow off top. This blow off top here, when you saw it go from 41k up to 66k, that was from September to October. That's in the span of 1 month, that. And we saw already in the past how Bitcoin can quickly rally, going from Trump's election campaign where he won on the 5th of November all the way up to the 5th of December. It was up here, so equally a 30k jump. So we could equally see a very quick rally. That's Bitcoin again, by the way, which, while it's still a volatile asset, is the least volatile in this market. So just envision what could happen with alts. Alts won't necessarily rally as parabolic as that, but when the Bitcoin dominance eventually falls off, which right now is very high, when it comes to altcoin season, then the alts will start going crazy as well. Again, we can see Bitcoin dominance currently at almost 62%. It's one of the highest it's been in recent times. It keeps rallying higher and higher. That's why when Bitcoin corrects, everything else in alts bleeds a lot harder. Jonathan will present Kaspa at a famous event in Hong Kong. Yes, that is one of the announcements that we have for today's stream that I'll get into in just a moment. But as to stay true to the title, I will be covering some of the macro news first. You also forgot to mention there's no community disagreement for the switch at all. Yeah, exactly. That's also an extremely bullish factor. There is not a single person in Kaspa or node operators, exchanges, and whoever it may be, nobody says I don't want the crescendo hard fork. Everybody here in the community is very optimistic and bullish and trust the Kaspa team to hand out this hard fork, transition this whole interface, this whole protocol from Golang to Rusty, and then of course in due time go to Dagnite as well. All this sort of stuff, they have complete faith in the team. At least the ones who know what they're doing, they have complete faith. So again, there's no disagreement, no whatsoever. So that's also, once more, despite the price action, which is definitely frustrating, the investor confidence in Kaspa, well, the community confidence in Kaspa is just as strong. The investor confidence, you could argue that, but I'm still very confident in Kaspa, regardless of its price right now. I'm still looking bullish on it. Now, before I get into some more questions, welcome back, Bengo Bang 100, doing very, very well. Yes, Feet, Mr. Mars, American Baked Beans, no more soapy beans. Yeah, well, hopefully. I mean, right now he's still he's just joining the chat right now. Yeah, I managed to catch him yesterday when he went on a run for his birthday, and I thought he had to get back to work, so hopefully he had a very, very good day though. I haven't worked him too hard today, I don't think. But yeah, anyways, get into some of the macro news before we get into the big Kaspa news. Crypto and market pullback with Kaspa as well. What is happening? Well, in a joking sense, Jim Cramer, the anti-market man, says the markets may be far healthier than we think, and here's why. This was posted just yesterday. Now, this is complete just rubbish in the sense of this is a joke here. Of course, it's a joke, but it is kind of been taken almost as like folklore by this point. Every time Jim Cramer says something about the markets, it always does the opposite. So sometimes, in the joking sense, when Jim Cramer makes a post that is bullish about something, it might be worth thinking negatively for the short term at least. Jim Cramer is saying the markets may be healthier than we think, which is therefore indicating that we are in a good spot right now. And now the markets have come down. Once more, he remains undefeated, is legendary, but that's a little bit of jokes. Jokes aside, the actual reasons for why the markets are correcting again is due to conflict. Israeli strikes on Beirut unleashed panic in first attack since November's truce. So there's pretty much the exact reason why right there. The exact reason why right there is because of the truce that happened since November, and of course we remember the significant pullback we saw in Kaspa, crypto as a market as a whole, but also Kaspa as well back in November. Right here, it was this massive pullback here, I believe, was a result of the conflicts in Israel, or in and around. Actually, no, it was right before November. This one here on October 25th or so, we saw a huge pullback because of some war conflict, and we saw the truce happen in November. We saw a lot of conflict in the Middle East around that day, and we saw Kaspa come down. Total on that day was about 21%, but it finished at the day at around 12% down, which again is a crash in the price of Kaspa. And that's not because Kaspa's an Israeli coin. That's already been disproven, because again, technically speaking, Kaspa's more made in America than anywhere else, but also, and more importantly, Kaspa is decentralized, fair, launch, open source. It has no centralized authority. It has no region. It's not an Israeli coin. It's not why Kaspa came down a lot. It came down a lot because some people perceive it as an Israeli coin, but more importantly, because also it's an altcoin. It's not got a lot of adoption in that space yet, in this space just yet. It's growing slowly but surely. We're staying very strong right now at around 512, almost 513,000 addresses. The hash rate is still holding strong as well, so the adoption is still stagnant, it's still there, and it's definitely going to explode more following tier 1s and the incoming developments as well. But yes, that has this Friday's attack began with a threat and a warning, with the Israeli army telling people to evacuate parts of the South Beirut suburb of Hadath. Middle East correspondents report a heavy bombardment in Beirut, as clearly the ceasefire is effectively dead. So the ceasefire that happened for the past 4 or 5 months has come to an end seemingly, which of course is not ideal, it's not good news at all. I'm not going to go too heavy into the topic because again, I don't think I need to clarify much more than that. We understand what this means for our world as it is. We understand what it has done for the economy. We saw on multiple occasions already in the past when we saw massive fall-offs on like December time. That all these times we saw massive pullbacks in the market. You know, there's also coincidentally around the time of Middle Eastern or just, you know, war conflict as a result around the world. You saw, I think, 2 or 3 times big conflicts that happened in the last cycle. So as a result, therefore, you know, seeing it happen again, no surprise that markets are also correcting right now. Again, look, Tower down 10%, Nakamoto gains down 10%, Sui down almost 10, C down almost 10, Kappa down almost 10, XRP 6, Ethereum 6, Bitcoin almost 4. Everything is struggling right now. Turbo down 12%, and not because necessarily Turbo is a bad project, because war causes conflicts, and of course, the more volatile an ecosystem, or the smaller the asset, the more volatile the correction will be as well. Will it come back? I believe it will do. Hopefully this conflict does not expand further from here. We'll have to wait and see. But of course, yes, anybody who does have any friends or family out there, again, my hearts go out to all of you. I do pray they stay safe. Not that my praying will do much for you, but you know, I hate seeing this sort of stuff in general, and I do pray that everybody can remain as safe and as sound as possible. And yeah, of course, those who are, again, investors who are frustrated about it, just as maybe a humane point for myself, just try and, while I understand war is frustrating for your investments, try and have some humility. You know, people are dying. It's not good. And while we want to do well in our investments, you know, again, and not trying to become too, about the better choice of words, political, although it's not the right choice of words at all, but I think you get what I mean from that. That's one element. Another element as well, which also could be contributing to the current market corrections, is Donald Trump has just stated that he will continue bombing Yemen for a long time. So, you know, again, he's just highlighted that, you know, he's going to continue bombing. This again could, you know, I mean, yeah, it's just more warfare, more conflict, and that again, I mean, for me, the bigger reason is the ceasefire coming to an end, but again, that's going to contribute to that as well. And even something else as well here, where the FFA admits it missed dangerous patterns leading up to the DC plane crash. So again, it's just today has been quite a cluster of just negative news and FUD, all based around some form of seemingly terrorist act, as they would clarify it, or some, you know, warfare. You know, this is how it's being clarified right now, and of course that has had a negative sentiment on the market. So in that regard, maybe Jim Cramer was right. He said so because he believed as much. I think Jim Cramer at a point knows through the anti-market, so I would not be surprised if he says it just as a joke, knowing that the market's going to act against his beliefs. But again, jokes aside, because it's not really a joking matter at all. That's why the markets are seemingly crashing today. That's why we're seeing a pullback. What will come from here, we have to wait and see. That's ultimately what I keep highlighting in the market. I've been saying it every single stream. Cash is looking, you know, while prices down quite a lot right now from all-time highs, down roughly 65%, I believe. Yes, about 66%. Truth be told, I think Kaspa is arguably in a stronger position than ever before, because of how many major developments are still to come and are coming out for Kaspa, and crypto equally is in a very, you know, bearish spot. But for me, it's not a bear market, it's just a bear trap. We're still very much in a bull run, with Bitcoin still sitting at 83k. Until Bitcoin corrects down below 70k, and to be told, probably more so 60k, I'm not remotely worried about it being in a bear market right now. I may see Bitcoin come below 70k, truth be told. I've seen some people who I am close to in the crypto space have their belief we're going to see Bitcoin correct below this level of support here and go towards the 69k area. Definitely possible. I'm not highlighting it's not. All we could do is play reaction to the markets right now. And if you are, while not financial advice possible, if you are feeling the heat of the markets and feeling a bit, you know, a bit unsure, you could just hold stable coins for the time being. Take your assets out, hold stables. I have done that with some of my assets. Not all, most of them I'm still holding, because I still choose to DCA and have my belief in the products I'm holding. But some of them I've just deemed as, you know what, it's not worth it. A lot of my memes, I had a feeling they would capitulate, and they did. So I took out the memes and put it into the stable coins, so they're still in the same ecosystem. And when I deem the time is right, I'll take it out of the stable coins, put it back into the Solana, and then go on the Solana chain and start trading the memes again. But that's just a way to kind of hedge against the market right now. Hold the stables and wait for the markets to finish its bleeding. But again, don't try and time the bottom. Nobody can time the bottom unless you're one of the market makers. It's a very tough thing to do. Time in the market is better than trying to time the market, as Bingo Bango once said. What a legend in that regard. But yeah, that's the element of that. And as a result, of course, with the war conflict and the negative sentiment right now, we're seeing also gold rally up high as well. Future slide, gold soars ahead of inflation data amid tariff turmoil. So not just war, also the trade war element as well, with tariffs as well. Trump seemingly implementing more and more, and gold starts soaring more and more. We can see gold equals unstoppable, another all-time high. I believe it just surpassed, was it 3.1k? I believe it was here. Yeah, 3.11k for gold, and it's going higher and higher. And according to Goldman Sachs here, $4,500 in extreme tail scenario. So an extreme tail scenario where market focus on the risk of Fed subordination or a change in US Reserve policy were to grow, prompting central banks' demand to rise to 110 tons per month consistently, ETF holdings to rebound to pandemic era levels since end of 2025, and positioning the to reach the top of the historical range, gold could plausibly trade above $4,200 per ounce, tons per ounce by end of 2025, and exceed 4,500 within the next 12 months. So as a possibility, we see gold rallying much higher, potentially another $1,500, $400 or so from here, which would be considerable for those who are holding gold. But why is that a big deal? Because once more, this highlights the lack in belief of the economic, environment in right now. Remember, there's a video I played in a few streams back from Ray Dalio, who is the founder of Bridgewater Associates, one of the biggest asset managers in the world. And Ray Dalio stated that he is currently allocating 10 to 15% of his portfolio, 10 to 15 in gold and Bitcoin. Now, majority, of course, is gold. Gold has got historical, proof that it's a safe hedge against inflation. But he is so scared, or enough worry right now about the current stability of our economy, and equally this war and tariff news is not necessarily going to help as much. So he's hedging a lot of his, a sizable portion of his capital into gold, but also a portion of that into Bitcoin as well, because evidently Ray Dalio, he sees there to be an element of belief and faith and potential profits to be made with crypto and Bitcoin. Bitcoin, of course, being classified as the digital gold. And of course, sentiment for crypto, while bearish in the short term, long term again, still we're seeing more and more bullish news. The Brazil's vice president advisor proposed a Bitcoin reserve. A sovereign reserve for Bitcoin is a public interest and will be decisive for our prosperity. Bitcoin is digital gold. It's a technology that allows us to store the fruits of our labor efficiently and securely. So that is the long and short of the macro news today. This is the reason why the markets are correcting. It is, of course, once again, a war. The ceasefire has come to an end. A ceasefire that's been going on for 5 months has come to an end. The markets have reacted very negatively. I mean, it could be another reason to that. But from what I've seen through the sources and the research that I've done, that seems to be the most likely reason for the market to be correcting and crashing right now. Of course, it's not ideal, but again, I've come numb to the short-term of crypto pullbacks because it's currently the market we're in right now. I've accepted that much, but I've also accepted where we're going to go from here as well. And that's, fundamentally speaking, regardless of, what it may do for my investment and people's investment as a whole, I still choose to remain with my humility and, again, saying once more, my hearts go out to those who are being affected and afflicted by the war. And I do wish you all the best, however possible it may be. While I won't do much with saying that, I do still wish for it. But that being said, doom and gloom aside, I'll get to some more questions real quickly and then I'll get into the Kaspa news. Right now, Kaspa, again, aren't doing very well today, but we have got some big updates as a result in general for Kaspa, and once more why this pullback, for me, could be deemed as a good entry price for Kaspa, currently down 66% from all-time highs, and equally from the local high, up here at 15 cents, it's still down 55%, and then from the one back in December, still then it's down 63%. So It's down considerably, but it's not just Kaspa. If you're in and around the communities and crypto space and you're hearing people fighting Kaspa, while it is warranted because the price is not doing well, take a broader perspective. Look at all of crypto. Ethereum, from its local top, is down 55%. From its all-time high last cycle, Ethereum is down 62%. So Kaspa is almost down. Kaspa's down slightly more than Ethereum, which is the second largest crypto in this space. So it's not just Kaspa doing badly, it's Ethereum, and as a result, therefore, all altcoins. XRP is the only one that's doing okay because of the whole lawsuit and legal proceedings where it's only down about 35%. But Sui's still up from when I actually got into it at $1.80 when I mentioned it. But Sui is down 52% from its all-time highs. C is down considerably from all-time highs. I still think these projects, by the way, are going to come back. I'm just highlighting once more that... No, I didn't say Siri, I said Sui. Got iPhone, man, I swear. But yeah, again... wow, that threw me off my game. But yeah, I mean, again, these projects right now that I'm highlighting, I still believe they're going to do very well this cycle when the reversal comes through. I'm just highlighting that while there are people who fight Kaspa, and again, while it's warranted, look at the wider perspective. It's not Kaspa doing badly. Every single project in this space right now is doing badly, and therefore, those people start to believe it's also in a bear market right now. We're in a bear trap, my belief. Again, we may see it come to a bear market again. I have no exact confirmation of such. Well, I say that actually. I have a lot of research documents from institutions and a lot more that provide in this community here, alongside the information that I provide to you guys every day. But even in here, a lot more in-depth insight on the current trajectory of the market and what they believe is going to happen. The fact that their long-term plan for crypto, because it's going to be incorporated into the financial system going forward, is a 5+ year plan, and it starts this year. We still haven't got any frameworks and regulations and rules and clear rules of the world of crypto just yet. They're coming through in the next few months or so. So 2025 will be the year we see this, quote, flip of the switch moment with crypto adoption, with the whole Web2 TradeFi place. So as a result, therefore, you'll see a lot more adoption later on when the adoption and the frameworks for policies and whatnot have been laid out. What we highlight in this community here, that's why the pullback does not worm in the cycle. That's why people say a bear market, it may be a bear trap, maybe it'll be a similar 2021 cycle. We see a double top, where you see it come back, peaking at 63k and then making a slightly higher rally after that. I know there's some YouTubers out there who believe we're going to see Bitcoin make another rally to all-time highs, but it won't be that much higher, probably be in and around here. And while, again, it's still possible, my personal belief is due to the level of adoption and the level of capital we're going to see flooding into this space, the fact that we've got easily, trillions upon trillions of dollars worth of asset managers that are still waiting to size into this space, I think it's a good possibility you can see crypto. I mean, some people are saying 250k Bitcoin. I'm being more conservative than that. I want to say 150k Bitcoin personally, but I have no conviction or clue of that. Again, the price of Bitcoin, where it rallies to in this space, is just pure speculation from everybody in this space, unless you're a market maker and you know what they're discussing. But for me, I think Bitcoin does make higher highs this cycle still, and I think, again, these short-term pullbacks is just a good time to price in, with Kaspa again being one of the strongest in the space for what is coming out very shortly as well. Are we near to the famous God candle? No clue. I would like to believe so, but I don't. People have been asking me in the community as well. I've been seeing questions asked about, will the 10 BPS hard fork be the relief rally and the time we see a massive explosion for Kaspa? And I've been highlighting more and more. I don't think so. What we have to understand is 10 BPS is an historic moment for Kaspa, making history something that nobody else in this space has ever been able to do, making a scalable proof of work. Ethereum couldn't do it, so they went to proof of stake, and they became terrible as a result. Bitcoin didn't do it. Everything else went to proof of stake because they couldn't figure out how to do proof of work scalable. Kaspa is doing that, and it's going to be really innovative, but it is a building block. 10 BPS doesn't guarantee mass adoption immediately. 10 BPS with smart contracts and stable coins, all those three together, they will contribute massively to a massive increase in adoption and demand for the infrastructure for building on top of Kaspa, and therefore for Kaspa as a result, because Kaspa is a gas fee on the layer 1. So again, I think the God candle, quote unquote God candle, it will come. I'm still convinced. As Kathy Woods, who is again deemed as a smart money, the the founder of ARK Invest, and she has significant power and power over the likes of 21 Shares as well. Cathie Wood stated about Tesla stocks: the longer the base, the bigger the breakout. A lot of projects in this space have seen a similar sort of market. I mean, look at Tau, for example. No one floods Tau, but Tau's market is extremely similar to like Kas Kaspa, actually. Compared to, it's almost eerily the same. But Kaspa's base at this price range, you can argue it's been around here for over a year. Now, of course, it's only been that since August 1st, but it's been around here for over a year if you look at it in the wider perspective. So for me, in correlation to what Cathie was stated, the longer the base, bigger the breakout. When Kaspa does break above this level of support here, or resistance here, but not just breaking above that, it needs to make a clean break, so it needs to break above this, and then here, 23 cents as well. Once you break above that, then I believe you could see quite an explosive God candle rally, at least in the short term, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Even with DCA, buying Kaspa will get you broke. I mean, if that's your belief in man, then don't buy Kaspa. Doesn't bother me either way. When can I retire my family with a 100k Kaspa bag? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, it depends on how much you need to retire, because it depends on what area of the world you live into. If you live in somewhere like India, for example, I believe it's the ruble. No, that's Russia. Rupee. It's rupee. The rupee is significantly lesser than dollars in regards to conversion. So you might be able to live very comfortably with 100,000 Kaspa bag if it becomes worth $1, that's $100,000, and therefore conversion that to rupee, I don't know what the conversion is, but it'd be a lot. But again, if you're based in America, will 100k let you retire? I would argue probably not. You probably need a couple million to be able to just to put stuff into investments, just live from the investments alone. But even then, again, it really depends on how you go about it. So the answer to the question is really depends on your environment and your livelihood, and also when you have a significant amount of capital where you decide to live. I know you're not necessarily looking for an exact answer like that. You're kind of looking for just a generic, like, in 5 years' time, or this cycle type thing. But I'm trying to be a realist. There are too many factors to take into account. Retiring is not as simple as just, I made 3 mil, I can retire. Because think about Mike Tyson, for example, one of the most well-known boxers to ever exist. He's in debt, or at least he was in debt. That's why he fought Jake Paul and lost, because he's in debt. Of course, it's due to his bad financial management skills and his team screwing him over, but either way, he had millions of dollars and he went in debt. So again, it's about how to manage your money, and that's ultimately also what, the whole element of investing tries to. What's also what, to a lesser extent, because again, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's kind of the element of what I do here, is educating people about crypto and Kaspa, also trying to bring some understanding about, the importance of money, and kind of give a better understanding about it. Again, I'm not an advisor. I have my knowledge of this is definitely insufficient to those who are advisors in a sense. So don't take me for the holy grail word of it. Again, do your own research. Definitely trade it on discretion. But I'm trying to bring some form of clarity to a space that right now I think seemingly lacking it, especially with the market continuing to correcting and people getting more and more bearish. Can you compare previous bull runs with actual bull run? I mean, I can most definitely. So we're going to compare previous bull runs right now. A lot of people have been closely comparing this bull run to the 2017 bull run back here, which is when Trump was first taking into office. We saw January, it peaked here in January, pull back about 36%, which is similar to what's happened this time round. We then saw it rally in September 2017. So we saw it, from January. We saw it here from, that's June. Sorry, that's June. Apologize, that's June. January is all the way back here. Well, okay, that's even bigger zoom in then. Look at January all the way back here. You saw it January 7th here, a 34% pullback, which is similar to what happened here. Then we saw it make a quick recovery. Then we saw another 34 to 40% pullback here. Then rallied up to June here. Now, currently the market is not respecting that in the same, region, because this happened in March. 40% back here. And Bitcoin again. This is, of course, early days Bitcoin again was much more volatile than it is right now. So seeing 40% pullbacks in Bitcoin right now is, again, very, very huge and significant. We saw it again, we saw a lot of pullbacks in the 2017 rally, and right now a lot of people in this space I see are comparing this cycle to the 2017 cycle, which therefore means you see a top in around December. And considering the policies that are coming out and when they're coming out, I would argue there is a good chance for it being a 2017 bull cycle. Although again, you've got to remember, all cycles are different. I mean, 2021 cycle had a double top. That was completely different to what happened in the 2017 cycle. So it's not going to be the exact same. But you know, this is the 2017 cycle. We saw continuous rallies and pullbacks, all being about 30% pullbacks, 40% pullbacks, before eventually making a top of around 20k, 19k Bitcoin, which is considerable considering when it started in 2017. You know, before it made the top, it started in around, well, it started at less than a K, or in around a K. So yeah, it jumped up 19x in value, give or take. So that's 2017 cycle, which I think Bitcoin right now is kind of respecting that to an extent. Again, this is the cycle where Trump was first, inaugurated and first took office. And what's also interesting as well in the cycle is we had no rate cut, we had no quantitative easing, and yet Bitcoin did that well. And we're going to probably get that this cycle as well. Of course, Bitcoin's more valuable now, but either way. Then you look at the last cycle here, the 2021 cycle, where you saw Bitcoin rally very quickly, seeing another 30% pullback in January, before then making a quick reversal and making a top very early on in April, I believe. Yeah, April here. We saw a first top around 63k, 64k. Then we saw, which again, this one I definitely think is warranted for people saying a bear market signal, because we saw it come back 56% of value from all-time highs. So of course, if that was, I mean, even I was in the cycle, I've been in crypto for over 5 years. I thought it was a bear market as well here. But as soon as it started, flatlining and started consolidating, I started asking questions. I started, and again, I made a lot of mistakes in that first bull run. That was my first bull run. I made a lot of mistakes in it. But again, I learned from them. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now, to help guide those. Again, not financial advice. I've got to keep reiterating it, because again, it's got to be said, I'm not a financial advisor. You've got to do your own research, but all I can do is help. One thing that I struggled so much with in the last cycle was research. Research is so important to help you devise your trading strategies. And I found it so hard to find the right people, the right place, and find where to look. So all I've done from this channel here, and even in much more detail again in this community here, is having a tight-knit group, a place where everyone can just come to a community and learn, the catalysts and the sentiments that can help devise your own trading strategies. This sort of stuff here lets you know what's happening. Now, I'm not saying that I'm the only one that has this. I'm sure many people have this news as well. But the fact that I can talk about all of this, and then also talk about all the good news, and also bring it into a community of people who we can all kind of learn the current market outlook and also what's happening, I think is a benefit for everyone. And again, a lot more information about the sentiment of the market and the future outlook, again, is in the community here. Want to know more about that? Again, links in the description below, and also on my homepage once more. Again, 56% correction in this here. We then saw it rally up, another 30% correction at this pullback here, 25% even, and then made a double top hit in the 69k Bitcoin. That happened the last two rallies, and of course, COVID hit around here as well, and the FTX crash happened around here as well. That's probably why you saw such a significant pullback, because of, that was disastrous. That's why everyone thought it was a bear trade. We saw FTX collapse, Terra Luna collapse, some massive assets completely falling off the face of the earth. It was terrible. And now in the market right here, we saw a very quick rally after the approval of ETFs in January 2024. We saw it quickly rally from around 40k up to 73k. And the reason why I stopped there is because, again, those who were holding Bitcoin since all-time highs last year made their profit of around 10%, and they took profits, as they would do. That's exactly why I'm highlighting here with Kaspa. When we see it eventually return to all-time highs, I'm giving it a grace period up to 23k because a 10% profit. Some people, while rightly are stubborn, are probably waiting to see a 10% profit in Kaspa before taking. So this, for me, we need to break 23k to see it actually indicate a big rally for Kaspa. And then, we saw it consolidate down, chopping sideways for 6 months. Then the election came through, Trump won. We saw a blow off top. And now we're currently in a 30% pullback. It's only 30%. And I just showed you for the past 5 minutes how many 30% pullbacks we've seen with Bitcoin. And we're now getting institutions, companies, governments wanting to create Bitcoin reserves. This will make Bitcoin more scarce and also likely make Bitcoin less volatile. The fact that you also got the likes of Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, who wants and pleads with the SEC to allow the tokenization of stocks and bonds on blockchain, on crypto, therefore means you're going to see this market in the years to come mature become something like the stock market, and then potentially and likely also surpass the stock market, because you're going to have stock markets on crypto technology. So crypto will become more valuable in that regard. There's a lot coming to this space still. That's why I'm not bearish on, and it's all taking, again, information that I provided in my executive community there is all proof that it's all taking place this cycle. And also providing a lot more insight in there, trade alerts, how to trade the market, what's happening right now, educational sources in there, and hell of a lot more. If you want to know more about it, again, links are down below. Mr. Malcolm, welcome back. Hope you're doing very well. Hope you had a very, very good birthday yesterday as well. Andy A, my man, welcome back, brother. Today I got 34 more. Keep filling that bag. It sounds very healthy. I get jealous that you can keep DCAing more and more. I ran out of dry powder a while back. I'm waiting for the next paycheck, but I'm also just holding the silence a little bit right now. What a piece of work is a man. How noble in reason, how infinite in factuality, in form and moving, how express and admirable in action, how like an angel. That is very, sound like a prophet, Mr. Miles. But yeah, sure, I agree. Kaspa just updated roadmap. Yes, so in that regard, then before I start answering more questions, I will now get into the Kaspa news. We can see here, in regards to the announcements, some very good stuff coming in. The KF just announced here that Kaspa is hitting the main stage at Web2 Festival, which is a very, very big crypto festival in Hong Kong, and leading the charge is none other than the founder and originator, Jonathan Sompolinsky, the hashtag. Now, just to reiterate those who may be new, he is not the CEO of Kaspa. Kaspa is not a company. It's a crypto project. It's not a company. So, where you have like Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, Sompolinsky is currently deemed as, people deem him as the face of Kaspa because he is the founder of it, alongside the other people who worked at Douglas, but he is not the CEO. He's just a very massive maniac, very knowledgeable individual who helped in the creation of Kaspa. He's just a researcher. He's a developer like Sompolinsky, like Michael Sutton, like Coder Stuff, like Shy, although Shy is slightly different in that regard, in regard to the researcher element. But either way, this is huge news, seeing Sompolinsky attend, because this is actually a very, very rare case. In a rare main stage appearance, Sompolinsky will present Kaspa's vision on one of the most prestigious platforms in crypto, a stage that hosts giants like Vitalik Buterin, Steve Yunton, Lily Liu, I'm trying to not butcher these names right now, Yatsu, and Sherry, APT. So that's Aptos there. That's the chairman of Animoca Brands, very huge companies there. The NCMO of Solana, so that's Solana there. Of course, that is TVM Ventures, and of course, that's Ethereum right there. So I'm going to be on the same stage, or taking part on the same stage these people have been on as well, which is again very big. This event's happening on the 6th to 9th of April. So that's again about just over a week from now. I'll be starting, I think, on the Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Sunday 6th? Yeah, Sunday 6th. So that's about 9 days away from now it starts, and then it has a 3-day period. Not just that, following hashtag Sompolinsky, you'll also meet Michael Sutton, another key developer for Kaspa in Hong Kong, who deliver a keynote speech on April 8th in our side event Festival Web3. So Kaspa, highlighted here, Kaspa 2.0 is coming. It's not exactly Kaspa 2.0, but they're trying to highlight it here to build hype and sense of like it's a revolution. 10 BPS. It's gonna, it's kind of like it's not a 2.0 of Kaspa. It's not a new Kaspa coin or anything like that. But it is, it's a completely massive deal for Kaspa. Should be told, it's making history, no doubt. And starts here. Michael Sutton will take the stage to share a first look at some of the most advanced proof of work innovations in the world. This isn't just talk, it's a deep dive into the future of Kaspa, led by one of its key visionaries. From cutting-edge tech insights to bold architectural ideas, this event is for builder thinkers and believers in the next evolution of decentralized systems. Kaspa is taking the center stage with some very, very well-known individuals, some massive titans in the space, and this is going to help bring more adoption to them as well. People start to believe more so in Kaspa, at least not necessarily the retail, but this will bring the more believers, or the more builders and potentially institutions to believe in Kaspa, and that will incentivize retail confidence. In regards to Crescendo, Kaspa updated, or Kaspa here updated the Kas Live to focus only on the hard fork countdown. We can see that website right here. Currently now, the countdown is ongoing. I need to refresh the page, I believe. When it does, yeah, so we've got 37 days, 70 hours, 55 minutes, and 30 seconds left. until the projected time. Of course, this can fluctuate, but hopefully Kaspa will stay true to it. We are currently 2.99% of the way to seeing Crescendo hard fork onto the mainnet. Again, history very close to happening. Now, Michael Sutton actually made a post here, a brain dump on all things Crescendo, what's included and what the benefits are. And Shai made a massive explanation of that as well, which I'm not going to read word for word because, again, I could be here for another half an hour if I do that. Look at this, still going. So I'm going to paraphrase it based on the notes that I took. So while I load those up, the notes here, yes, the notes ultimately go into an element of stuff talking about, one, increasing block rates. So ultimately talking about the throughput of network capacity is expected to increase significantly, 8 to 9 times, not exactly tenfold, but because it's due to, transactions collisions, but it'll still be a massive improvement, no doubt. And of course, those of us who only do small transactions, we may not notice it that much, but if you're a massive exchange, you'll notice that very, very, very well. You've got peer-to-peer fine-tuning, so the miners can optimize transaction selections for blocks, boosting efficiency without consensus change, so good for miners. Reduced first inclusion time, so transaction wait times before confirmation start will decrease as well, so it'll be quicker, potentially to sub-network latency due to centralized mining. The confirmation times overall will be improved, estimated around 30% faster, which is huge. Enhanced security, increased block rates, and a DAG. Again, so it's ultimately talking about, it'll make, the transaction, the confirmation times faster and also more secure as well. So it's a very big deal in just the increased block rates apart, but of course there's more to that as well. That's also high tuning here, all this sort of stuff as well. Then you also got the block parallelism here. It talks about multi-ledgers, where basically Kaspa design allows for multiple blocks per round, enhancing transaction processing, and also the anti-MEV. Anti-MEV is huge, by the way, extremely huge, bigger than people are giving it credit for. Kaspa's architecture inherently reduces miner extractable value, aka MEV, making it harder for miner to manipulate transaction orders due to updates aimed to return any MEV to the user. So ultimately, there are some miners, especially layer 2 operators, especially on the Ethereum platform, who want to take advantage and, basically be able to steal the transaction order and, gas fees, whatever, from the transaction, so they can basically just steal the money. But Kaspa, with its unique architecture, is resistant to that. It's not, not to my knowledge 100% full, but it's anti-MEV. It's very resistant to it. So it means it's actually more decentralized and more fair, which is huge. It's a very, very big deal. I think Igor Labs made a post on MEV as well. Again, that information about MEV from Igor Labs is also available in my community here. A few communities, go check that out. Links in the description, also on my homepage right here as well. A few communities where everyone's just chill chat and learning about crypto and Kaspa as well. Of course, Kaspa's the main focus, but I'm sure it's going to expand more so into a general crypto community right now. And again, those want to have even more insight. You've got the WAP community there as well. Equally, link is there, wap.com/coin-factory. Continuation though, we got again one more thing here highlighted from Shai as well. Amongst other things as well, you've got the brewing up a storm. So an innovation solution to state bloat, effectively managing storage growth without effectively affecting user experience or trust. So it's going to be a big update that you won't even recognize how it's going to affect it. Pre-Covent, so KIP 10 here. Pre-Covent, one problem with Storm is that it makes micropayments a bit trickier. But here with KIP 10, it's a step towards covenants, enabling more flexible transactions, conditions, and addressing micropayment challenges. So again, it's a big update in that regard. You also got what's also very important, KIP 15, which is huge, and actually there's a bit of an update about Igor from that as well. KIP 15 is a change that increases the trustlessness of layer 2 solutions on Kaspa, significantly improving the centralization before ZK rollups are implemented. So it increases centralization before smart contracts come on Kaspa. And Igor makes a point about that here as well, talking about KIP enables a conceptually meaningful feature, allowing nodes to archive only transactions and prove their sequencing and acceptance trustlessly. This is significant for allowing pre-ZK era layer 2 nodes to store and prove full smart contract execution to new sequences at a reasonable cost, hence effectively making such systems possible right after Crescendo. Overall, this means that preliminary smart contract layer 2s are possible over post-Crescendo updates. So what this effectively means Its KRP makes it cheaper and easier for layer 2 networks on Kaspa to prove that their smart contracts are working correctly. This is important, but for making layer 2s usable for Kaspa, or usable for Kaspa, has advanced privacy technology. In short, Kaspa will be able to run early stage layer 2s after the Crescendo upgrade, and that actually is highlighted here. You get a sneak peek on layer 2 on Kasplex DevNet Explorer, and someone asked here, will it go in production together with Crescendo or some weeks after? And Capital has no, the layer 2 solution will be ready at the exact release of Crescendo, proper timeline to follow. So that effectively, from my understanding, it means that you're going to see the layer 2 solution will be ready, and then you'll see a timeline for saying the final tweaks, if you will, probably happen very soon, but it'll be ready in time for Crescendo. So when Crescendo comes out, this timeline here is not just for Crescendo, it's seemingly also for the Ethereum virtual machines, the layer 2 solutions. So again, you'll see them all come out at a very similar time. So that could put May to be an extremely bullish time for Kaspa. You'll see that, and also, as I've seen confirmation from Johnny as well, Johnny seems to state that in May you'll see the opcodes being churn, blacklist, and the other ones as well, the ones that are necessary for stablecoins coming out in May as well. So you'll see stablecoins on the KRC20 platform with the likes of USDT Tether coming out sometime in May, I believe, alongside the release of the Ethereum virtual machines from the likes of Kas Kaspa, also from Incurred as well, ideally, which is huge. And equally, you also have the KII as well. KII, don't forget, ISO 22 compliance is ready. So the ISO 22 compliance is ready. So that means Warp Core, one of the projects on KII for Kaspa that's going to make it compete with the likes of XRP, is already ready, and it will be going live. And with the 10ps hard fork, it will be on the mainnet pretty much ASAP, which is huge news. So close, with based rollups on the horizon. We've got DeFi coming to Kaspa and possible MEV resistance in the future. Exciting times for sure, no doubt about it. We have infinite opportunities right now with Kaspa. That's why I stay bullish, because right now all the big updates for Kaspa are coming almost in unison. There'll be more small project updates, I'm sure, coming out later on in regard to Kasplex, not in Project Sparkle even, and Watson Policy also working on. He's working on a smart contract architecture as well. And also you'll see Dagonite coming out. Once the Crescendo hard fork is done, I'm sure Marcus and the team will quickly switch over to doing Dagonite as well. Very bullish. The last thing that Shai also mentions here is transient storage mass, which ultimately just adds a fixed block size limit to better control block size in kilobytes. So it's just fine tuning, all massive things coming to Kaspa in this regard, and seemingly all the timelines and the stars are aligning for in and around May, early May time, Q2. So you'll see the Ethereum virtual machines, the layer 2s building on top of Kaspa, where Kaspa's a gas fee coming out sometime around the Crescendo hard fork, seemingly, or at least in the world of Kaspador. Timeline will probably follow later on, but you'll see the L2 solution will be ready at the exact release of Crescendo. For Kasplex, I'm sure Eagle Labs is not far off now, as they do have their DevNet that's currently working. And you also got people like Zella Swaps who are creating or aiming to create the first fully decentralized DEX on Kaspa, powered by Eagle Labs as well, and their layer 2. So, while flooding Kaspa is definitely, seemingly all the what's the word I'm looking for? All the popularity thing right now. It is currently what's popular, flooding Kaspa, flooding crypto, because it is what's happening. It's not the best, but sources suggest that there's a big things coming for Kaspa very soon. May could be that pivotal time. Again, it's not confirmation that May is going to be the god candle per se, but you could therefore see 10ps coming around in May, followed by EVMs, followed by stablecoins coming around that time. That could be if it was just 10ps, that'd be one factor. But seeing that you're going to have potentially some elements of EVMs coming out as well as smart contracts, that could be 3 major building blocks for Kaspa that could bring a lot more demand and adoption and building top of Kaspa. That could also result in these very standoffish and frustratingly standoffish tier 1, the likes of Binance, finally taking action to list in that regard as well. The top wallet, the speculated Binance wallet, again has screwed up another almost 3 million Kaspa, $200,400 worth of Kaspa. Keeps going up higher and higher. Things on the up for Kaspa, in my belief, no doubt. Mexi still up to their funny business right now. We saw their wallet is now an Aquaman. Mexi wallet is now the top holder for Kaspa, surpassing 1 billion Kaspa in its balance, valued at approximately $880 million. This represents about 4.1% of the Kaspa supply. We'll see what comes from that in due time. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who take off Mexi, at least if they're smart. I think they should do. because Mexi has been outed by themselves to say they've been manipulated right now, and they claim they're feigning ignorance, but I think it's just complete rubbish. I think they knew what's happening, and now it got too ridiculous and they have to take action to try and save face. But Kaspa again looking very strong indeed, and all seemingly lining up. KRI is ready, Kasplex seems to be ready, Igolabs doesn't seem to be far off ready either. 10PS again is not far off now. This is the time I'm looking at. This is a very crucial date, and I do have a channel in my free community titled Important Dates, where I try my best to keep it updated as possible. I haven't updated in a bit of time, but I'll do so over this weekend. And I put in the crescendo updates, the speculated timelines for when you'll see the EVMs coming out for different projects as well. I'll put in, crypto updates as well. So what we're seeing on certain dates, like we got I think I saw something about the new SEC Crypto Task Force dates and when they're happening as well. I think there's going to be happening one at the end of the month as well, beginning of April even. Again, a lot more to come ultimately. So again, this is the reason the market's correcting today, understandably. But the outlook for crypto and Kaspa still looks extremely bullish. If you want to know a lot more about that, come join the free community. Links in my homepage right here, also in the description. And if you want to be even more locked in, maximize benefit from crypto, also be able to make profit during these market sentiment, educating people on how to create profit during these market sentiments right now. You've got the CA community right there as well. Links are down below in the description. Also on my homepage right there. We provide a lot in there, but we're doing our weekly live stream. Again, we do every single week, every Saturday. That'll be happening tomorrow. Alongside much more we provide in there as well. And we're ramping up again more so with the market in due time. 100k Kaspa is a great bag. Remember to take profits and hold stable coins during the bear run. They rebuy after the big crash that is coming later this year. Then suddenly you have 230k. I mean, yeah, that's also the generic strategy and very good strategy. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Right, that is the strategy right now for how you should effectively invest. You try and buy low, sell high, and I know there'll be I think if you take out, you obviously have to pay tax. Of course, you have to take out. Some people are investing to try and make, utilize their fiat currency. But if you're holding stable coins, want to reinvest, then that might be the to do. Market may correct after this. We have to wait and see. I have a notification on Instagram group Kaspa. Interesting. Well, that is. I don't use Instagram that much, if really at all. So I don't follow Kaspa in that regard. Are we mooning yet? No, we are collapsing due to war. Bitcoin saw new all-time high right before the halving. We've never seen that in another cycle. We're in uncharted waters. I mean, yeah, again, we saw Bitcoin run to 109k in January. Even managed to get 108k in December 2024. That's ridiculous. That's huge. While you can compare Bitcoin and crypto to previous markets, because historical data helps you devise trading strategies, again, there's only so much that market analysis can do for you, because ultimately every market is a different market. And what we're seeing in this market is very, very different to 2017 and 2021. There's more similarities, in my belief, to the likes of 2017 right now, but that could definitely change. It might go towards 2021. Who knows? That's why I look at TA to help devise the zones, just the zones, maybe the market strategy. This is currently telling me a is currently in a downtrend. And I'm waiting for the inevitable breakout where it starts doing that. When? Don't know, but I'm hoping we'll see it in due time. But at the same time, when I look at the mark, I look at that and I try to determine zones. I can look at the market right now, I can see there's a zone around here. I can see there's a zone around here. I can see there's a zone around here. I can see the zones just by looking at the chart because I've been able to analyze it for a long time. But I don't use it to try and say, this, BBW reverse cross on the, holy grail, like that pattern there looks like it's going to do that. No, I don't believe in that. Or at least I don't choose to really take knowledge of that. I don't think it's that accurate of a measurement. I think this is an accurate measurement of what's happening in the market, and that can help me devise where the market's going to go from here. This is a FUD event. We could very much see a relief rally come back tomorrow. If this doesn't escalate anymore, we could see a relief rally come tomorrow. We'll have to pay attention to the macro news. Macro news for me is much more important than technical analysis. Both are important, but I see more successful people in macro news research alone than just people who do TA. I have 200k Kaspa. When sell? I have 200k Kaspa. Whenever you want to. Completely up to you. Again, I'm not going to tell anyone how to buy and sell. I'm not a financial advisor. You sell when you want to. I would have had 400k Kaspa if I converted it all to my Nacho into Kaspa from Mint RIP. Unfortunately, but I'm probably that's part of the game if you will, crypto. I'm sorry about that. But I'm sure things are still looking up for crypto and Kaspa this cycle. I still have no doubt in my conviction. Hopefully you don't either. Spamming equal growth. I mean, yeah, if the spamming keeps continuing, then I haven't seen any more spamming recently. If spamming kept continued, though, I would have to mute. Will Kaspa reach $1? Who knows? I think it will do, but who what? What's the price target of Kaspa? I don't do price target anymore. You know I don't. People who've been following me for a while know I stopped doing price action and price targets because it's just a toxic mindset. People saying we'll have to do this and that. If you ask me if Kaspa reach $1, I can say maybe it could do. I see why. I see potential for it, but I'm not giving clear-cut answers, and I'm not saying where I think it's going to go anymore because that's all people care about. I had a whole tangent about that yesterday, in fact. What we have, we prize not to be worthwhile. We enjoy it, but being a lack of lost, then we rack the value, then we find the true virtue possession. Okay, so I mean, Mr. Moss has been very philosophical today. You know, I love it. Is that the result of getting caged for a long time? It must be. It must be. He's now seen the Holy Grail, apparently. What's up, Artsman? You're doing very, very well. What's up, my man? My bags are cooked. Yeah, I mean, my bags are looking a little bit bleak right now. I'm thankfully, because I got very fortunate in a Solana meme trade very early on in the cycle, like 2024 area, and I have that stored elsewhere. I am currently still up, while very, very small now, very small margin now. I am definitely up in the cycle. Although I think if it goes down, if it continues to bleed more so, I think I will be down very soon. But my Kaspa bag is down, very much so. It's down quite considerably, I think, from its average. But I keep DCing, trying to lower the average basically right now. Good evening, War Britannia, man. Hope you're doing very well. Welcome back to the channel. I see the market having a Black Friday event again. I thought it was once a year. Oh well, bye. You know it. We see constant fire sales like zombies. You got the fire sale button. You're getting a cheap. What was it? 25. What was it? What was the fire sale? It's normally $9.50 for the random box. What's the fire sale? Was it 25? Forgot what it was now. It's been so long since I played Call of Duty Zombies. But yeah, it's a fire sale, no doubt about it. Black Friday indeed. I need daily hoping. Well, hopefully that was informative views. Art Zero, the good stuff coming for Kaspa, and ultimately the reason why the market corrected today is due to the war progression. What's up, Don Doman? Hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome back to the channel. Who do you pay to for Moon? That's a great question, actually. Who pays for Moon? The God you believe in. I guess that's all I could say. It's all the rage. I'm trying to track back to what I said about all the rage right now, because I know I said it. I think it's regarding Kaspa. I think that's what you meant. I mean, yeah, if you're referring to Kaspa, then yeah, Kaspa is all the rage right now, and it's also very popular and in Season 2 FUD Kaspa, despite the wider outlook on the market. Again, people who FUD Kaspa, I take very little note of them now, because what reason do I have to? Why are you FUDding Kaspa when the whole market's correcting? Kaspa's not doing badly, the market's doing badly. Ethereum is down 60% from all-time highs. Kaspa's currently down similarly 65%. If Ethereum's doing that badly, Kaspa's doing the same, then why is Kaspa being targeted, you know? Sui is down 56%. The only asset right now that's not doing badly in terms of correction is XRP and Bitcoin, which because XRP just finished their lawsuit, so they had a massive rally. Well, they haven't finished it, but they basically finished it now. They had a massive rally as a result of it, and now it's pricing in around here, which I think is where it should be pricing in right now. And then Bitcoin, of course, is just Bitcoin. It's a Bitcoin-dominant market, you know. Honestly, I hope the market dumps hard. I want to gobble up as much as cheap Kaspa as I can, S&P 500 and stocks as I can. I'm a relatively big holding of Planeteer, been since 2022. I have heard about Planeteer, and I do have a lot of belief that Planeteer will be a very, very good asset to invest into. I don't invest in stocks much anymore, but I have heard about Planeteer as being one of the good up-and-coming ones coming through. Regarding AI as well, I believe. If Bitcoin goes back to 100k, Kaspa will outperform Ethereum by a long shot. Do you think Kaspa can be number 2 by 2030? Good question. Do I think Kaspa will be 20... that's 5 years from now. Considering the adoption we'll see of crypto and whatnot. If I'm going to be blunt, probably not. I think it'll be a top 5. Worst case top 10, but I think it'll be a top 5 by 2030. But top 2... I think Bitcoin will take number 1 spot, and who will be number 2? If I'm being honest, and you're going to probably hate me for saying this, I think it'll be XRP. You're going to hate me saying that. I know you're going to hate me saying that, because I know you're going to hate me saying that. But right now, again, I would love to be proven wrong. If Warp Core really takes off, then it will be Kaspa. because Ethereum's going to fall off, no doubt, in my belief. But XRP has the advantage, the first mover, the early mover advantage. It's got so many partnerships and a lot of proof that these big institutions are already utilizing XRP ledgers. So XRP has an advantage in that regard, and I think that's going to help them in this stage going forward. How long will it continue? Again, should Kaspa prove itself, which I think it will do, you might see migration from XRP to Kaspa, and then Kaspa will become the second biggest. But I mean, 5 years is a very tough prediction to make, because again, I could be wrong. It could be something else. It could be a new project coming out. Who knows? I think Kaspa's definitely going to be in the top 5, top 10, worst case top 5 by 2030. But I have to wait and see. Ultimately, it's still too early to call that. So again, and that's my own personal belief and based on the research I've conducted. But again, that's not me saying that I believe in XRP more than Kaspa. Hell no, I believe in Kaspa a hell of a lot more. But I'm having an outlook on the significance of it. Kaspa is great, fantastic, one of the best, if not the best in this space, but its lack of VC backing, while I prefer it for that, making it fairer and more decentralized, that will make it harder for it to significantly rally quicker, at least initially. Other assets have, Sui can rally so quickly. The video I just made, about an hour ago or so, the video I just made, ultimately talking about Sui's literally working in partnership with the World Liberty, FI, Trump's DeFi thing. So Sui has big partnerships. It's also partnered with Franklin Templeton. It's got some huge partnerships and VC backing. So that's why Sui has rallied so quickly. And Sui's infrastructure, while people say proof of stake rubbish, and I care to agree, I think Sui is definitely proving itself to be the Solana of this cycle and will probably do very well. Sui may very well repeat Solana's first cycle, and therefore, whereas currently valued at $8 billion, can value up to $80 billion, like Sui did in the first cycle, like Solana did in the first cycle. Sui could replicate what Solana did. So, again, I have to wait and see. I think Kaspa will do very well, no doubt. And I think it could I still think it'll surprise people, especially if it gets the adoption. I'm buying. Next bull and Kaspa will get ETFs. Kaspa maybe get ETFs this cycle. We don't know. It's still be considered. I lose $2,000 every time Kaspa goes down. Doesn't make sense. I mean, sorry to hear that, brother. Again, it's just ultimately you do your own research, your own discretion. I am definitely down quite a lot on Kaspa as well, but I try not to look at it too much because I'm looking more so long term. Look up the $6.5 million houses that are empty that the government is paying for using our tax dollars to artificially inflate home scarcity. Okay, I'll do it if I can real quick before I wrap up today's stream. I'm guessing it's the 10 housing pricing myths. Is it that? I mean, if you had a link for me, brother, I would be able to easily go through it. And of course, you can't link it in the YouTube, but you can link it on Discord. I mean, acknowledging that either way, yeah. I mean, it's the fact that there are a lot of empty houses right now that the government is paying, our tax dollars to artificially inflate the home scarcity is crazy. We're going to see a bubble pop probably in that regard as well. Just trying to look it up right now. I've seen something from, okay, it might be that from BBC there. House building plans forecast to boost economy by 6.8 billion. Maybe it's that from BBC. Maybe it's this one from CPRE. Is it all based in the UK? Because all I'm seeing about UK and London and stuff like that. Housing building forecast to boost economy by $6.8 billion. I don't think that's exactly what you're referring to, though. I don't think that's what you're referring to at all. You can find the link for me, brother, because I am very interested to hear about that and read through that definitely, but I just don't seem to be able to find the source exactly. I did try and type in word for word what you said and I couldn't find it. The other thing I have here is this, this page I found from CPRE London, talk about the 10 housing crisis myths. I don't think that's what you're looking for either, to be honest. So I would ask and request that you can send it to me in Discord, and I will promise you to look through it. Although I will probably look through it tomorrow and talk about it tomorrow because I am needing dinner and food. Most definitely food. I'm very hungry. I honestly love these cheap capital prices, knowing what's ahead. I agree completely, wholeheartedly. Yeah, completely the same. I'm okay with top 5. Yeah, top 5 are equally very, very big. just increase my bag. That's the spirit, you know it. I'm going to pray to God and Jesus and YHWH and then pray to everybody you can, brother, definitely. Money I'm playing to Crom. Proof of, that's a proof of worth. Yeah, I mean, again, I do, there's an element of truth in that, and I do agree, but the way I've been trying to perceive it is, for example, Tesla. I personally don't really care for Tesla. I don't particularly say I like Tesla either, but I understand Elon's behind Tesla. I don't understand the influence and aura he has, and therefore I see Tesla doing very well because Elon Musk got too much influence. He's working alongside Trump. I don't like Tesla, but I'd invest into it. I don't right now, but because I think crypto is more worthwhile in my belief, and I want to stay to crypto, but I would invest in Tesla. It's come down significantly. People are very bearish on it, but Elon Musk is just Elon Musk, and Tesla is just, Tesla's huge. Even then, it's still, while it's come down significantly, it's still, very expensive. Still, we've got a very high market cap still. So I think 800 billion loss, I heard about it. Maybe I was wrong about that, I don't know. But either way, my point is that I don't have necessarily like the product to understand that it's got potential money-making opportunities. I don't particularly say that I do like Sui, I do like XRP, I do like Tau. Do I think they're better than Kaspa? No. I think Kaspa is in its own bracket in that regard. That's why I'm more bullish on Kaspa than anything else. My biggest portfolio, my percentage of my portfolio is in Kaspa predominantly because I believe in it more, but I've hedged my bets because I understand the community sentiment and the VC backing it has will help in significant values quicker. And the profits I make from that, I'll circle back into Kaspa, but you know the deal. Kaspa, Order of the Jedi, Ripple XRP, Sith Lord, and Apprentice. Yeah, Kaspa's definitely Luke Skywalker, and XRP Ripple is Darth Vader. Well, actually, that's not fair, because Darth Vader actually is the chosen one, isn't he? And he saved everyone. What should I say? There's not really... The only real bad Siths that you can acknowledge from the movies, I haven't watched the books, the movies per se. I haven't watched the Clone Wars, actually, that's really bad of me. Is obviously Sidious, who is, the ultimate Sith, which I don't think is fair to say that to XRP, or Darth Maul, because Kylo Ren ended up being a good guy, and so did Darth Vader in the movies. So it'd be Darth Maul. I guess Darth Maul's alright. Yeah, sure, XRP is Darth Maul, and in that regard, then Kaspa's going to be Obi-Wan, and I love Obi-Wan as well. Simple million houses, not dollars. I'll send you Discord later. It's an American company. Okay, thank you very much, Crypto Man. Yeah, I definitely want to look through that as well because I am interested about that. Just couldn't find it in the time frame I had. I'm sorry, man. Don't you have to fast for Eid in the UK? I'm thinking it depends on your religion, and that's not my religion, so I am not fasting for Eid. But I think some people may do, Ramadan and stuff like that. But anyways, with that being said, thank you everyone for watching Daily Kaspa and Crypto live stream. Hope you enjoyed the content. Market's corrected right now. It is a bit doom and gloom. That is due to an end of a ceasefire in Israel and Beirut. So again, it's unfortunate. It's very, very saddening as investors, but also in the humane fact as well for people who are currently in the middle of this conflict. And I do wish them the best. Doom and gloom, definitely short term, but long-term outlook crypto, I think, still looks very, very big. Is gold soaring up higher and higher, a good sign that our economy is failing more and more, and therefore it's better gold into something that's more reliable, therefore gold. And I think Bitcoin will also see similar treatment as well. Capital looking very bullish right now. A lot of time I think to be corresponding to this date here. More to look forward to all in all. So don't be emotional, be logical, and understand and keep researching what is incoming. It will take time. We're not going to moon necessarily in the next couple of weeks. But in a month or two, who knows? Maybe we'll start seeing a relief rally or so. If you enjoyed it, always leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. If you want to know more about crypto and other market setups, come check out the free community here. And equally, the WAP paid community there, coin.com/coin-factory. A lot more information in there, keeping you all informed about the market sentiment and whatnot. If you want to know more, check that out. Find a lot in there. We're doing our weekly live stream tomorrow at 2 p.m. BST. Come check that out. You can join for free for a week. Have a great day, good evening, and good night. And I'll see you.